ease this. Oh man, look at that. Look what's on the bottom of this carburetor. It's Szechuan sauce. Somebody call Rick. What's up, friends? It's your friendly neighborhood snowblower man. If you don't know, my name is Doug. You're watching DVC. This is a show where we mess with small engines, small engine power equipment, and the like. As it is winter here in New Jersey, I am marathoning through every snowblower I can get my hands on. My job this time of year, take the worst of the worst, the outcasts, the snarblowers that are tough cases, nobody else seems to be able to get them, the ones that were discarded, thrown out, set aside, put out on the curb for free. We have one of those today that we're gonna get running. We're looking at here is one of my all-time favorite snarblowers. I love these old 70s, 80s snappers. This is a 422. If you don't know, the way you classify snowblowers is with a 4 or more often 3-digit number. The first one is the horsepower of the motor. This is a 4 horsepower Tecumseh. The second is the width of the cut. This has a 22-inch clamshell. That'll be your cut, 22-inch auger, whatever you want to call it. Occasionally, they'll also tell you whether or not it's a double or single stage. This is a 2-stage. I know y'all can't see nothing. Here's your first stage, the auger. Your second stage is that impeller right back there. That's what sends the stuff flying out of there. Now, Eric picked this up off the side of the road for free. For all I know, it's got nothing wrong with it, but that's never the case. Our job for today is to clean it up, get it running, get it driving, throwing snow, and then get it out the door. If you guys have not seen this channel before and you like snowblowers, lawnmowers, weed whackers, whatever, go check out some of our other videos. This time of year in particular, we just line them up. Free snowblowers all day long, and we get them running. So if you're into that kind of thing, very musty one feel in that aspect. I'm not arrogant enough to compare myself to musty one. Without further ado, let's do the once-over. This is the once-over I do when I run up on a free unknown snarblower. First thing I want to know, first and foremost, before I tell you that, let me give you a little bit of a disclaimer real quick. The garage is torched. Eric and I have been banging through snowblower after snowblower after snowblower with no time to clean. There's tools, there's stuff that's a part snowblower everywhere. Don't judge me on the state of the garage. Sometime around Mother's Day, we'll get her cleaned up, right in time for mower season. So the first thing we do is the once-over walk around. Let's see about engine Earl. Got oil. Smells burnt, but it does not smell like gas, which is good. There's no water in it. If y'all didn't see, I did a snowblower. It was an MTD a couple days ago, and I put the video up. I'll link it somewhere. It had literally been sitting in a lake up to here. Everything was full of water, sludge and all this crap, but we did get it running. So the oil looks decent. Uh-oh, gas tank might be a little dirty. Huh, wow. I'm not gonna share with you what I saw in there. We'll deal with that later. Suffice it to say, it appears there's orange Gatorade in the gas tank. Oh man, I hate working in a messy shop, I really do, but it's just the way things go sometimes. Oh, so the orange Gatorade in there is not great, but the engine oil in there is not too bad. Let's see if she's got spark. Another thing we're going to accomplish here, determine whether or not it's seized. It's not seized and it feels like it has decent compression, but is it sparking? I don't think it's sparking. Right? I didn't see any spark. Oh yeah, a little bit of spark. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera. You guys are getting the shaky view. Keep your eye right there. Is that sparking? It's sparking. Out of this spark tester, I think is a little janky. All right, so we know we've got a serviceable motor. It's got compression, it's not seized, it's got spark. Fuel is gonna be an issue, so let's drain this fuel tank. That's not precarious at all. Oh boy. So let's bring you guys in. I don't know how well you can see the tinge on that fuel, but definitely not the clear light amber color it should be. It smells like crap, so that's the problem. This thing has spark, had compression. Oh, the carburetor's just gonna be full of tater tots. All right, let's let that go and we'll go work on the carburetor. Somebody recently asked me, don't you ever just get tired of putting together snowblowers? I mean, geez, every time. Just pull a snowblower in, find out it's got bad gas, clean the carburetor, move on to the next one. Do the same thing over and over again. Absolutely not. I love snowblowers. Let me know down there in the squawk boxes. Am I the only person on the planet who has this thing for snowblowers? Now, I like all power equipment, but snowblowers in particular, man, they're interesting because they figured out how to make them in about 1960, and technology hasn't really changed. Yeah, you can get heated grips on your new Arians and gosh knows whatever else, but grand scheme of things, I mean, the drive system, the same. The transmission's the same. The auger system's all the same. Ooh, that guy's in there. Man, I tell you what, I can't find anything in here. I can't even find my penetrating fluid. Oh, it's tough. Life is hard and harder if you're stupid. All right, well, we're using fluid film as penetrating fluid today. Is it a good penetrating fluid? No, probably not. But that's what I've got, so. Oh, Christmas. Anyway, what I was saying about snowblowers is they're just interesting to me. Since I was a kid, I thought they were fascinating. Lawnmowers are cool, tractors are cool. Something about a snowblower. Maybe I'm just crazy. Oh, that's gonna break. That is gonna break. Oh, I already broke it. Shoot. All right, that's my bad. I should have eased into that one a little more, and I didn't. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I am a huge fan of these old snappers. I found they use the same style in most cases as the old Toros. Oh my goodness. But they're just well... Air compressor, hold on. Christmas. If it ain't one thing, it's the next. What was I saying? They're just well built. The metal in the clamshell's a little bit thicker. They don't rust out as quickly as the Toros do from that time period. Great, great machines. If you find one of these old snappers, I highly recommend you pick it up. And y'all George Carlin fans, anytime I hear a snapper, I think of George Carlin. If you're not familiar with that joke, don't bother looking it up. It'll rot your brain. Alright, now these primer lines, for whatever reason, they get so melted on there and just fused, you usually end up having to rip them. And that's fine. Yeah, we'll cut that one clean. I also like to mark where the governor linkage was. It's just one less thing you have to worry about later. I have put these on the wrong hole and then you can't get them to run right, or you forget where you had it. And unfortunately, a lot of times, they're all different. Same motor, different manufacturer. So I just put a nice line pointing to it. That way, after the ultrasonic cleaner and the brake clean and a monkey with a toolbox beating on it with a hammer, I'll still be able to tell where she's supposed to go. Oh man, what are you glued on there? And we'll ease this. Oh man, look at that. Look what's on the bottom of this carburetor. It's Szechuan sauce. Somebody call Rick. Oh, Christmas. All right, get this disgusting thing over to the bench. Why do I do this to myself? All right, friends, now that the carburetor's off, I am going to dump a little bit of this 2-stroke fuel in here. Mixed gas. Just a little bit down the old throat hole. Let's see if she will chirp to life. That'll let me know everything on the inside is copacetic. All right, friends, we can't get it to fire square down the throat hole, so let's pop this back out and we'll go in from the top. If this doesn't work, we have a bigger issue. Could be valves, could be compression, could just be that the inside of the cylinder is so disgusting with oil or even water. But if it pops off here, then we know all that's good and I can just go work on the carb. Moment of truth, hold your breath. Oh, that was it. I don't know if you heard it. Let's do that one more time. Well, there you go, friends. That is the most beautiful sound in the world because it means I don't have to do the compression test, pull the head off, look in the cylinder, borescope, all that crap. This thing's gonna run just fine. Let's go look at that absolutely disgusting carburetor. Alrighty, friends, I want to draw your attention to the most disgusting carburetor I think I've pulled off anything, certainly this year, possibly in a couple years. I think the worst, oh, and look right there. Can you all see that? That's water sitting on top of the fuel. See this bubble? I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not, but there's a bubble. That's all water that came out of this carburetor. Man, look at the fuel. Do you see that red? Good gravy. Getting ahead of myself here. All right, this is an old style carburetor with an adjustable main jet, so that means it is a 7/16 bowl nut, and I suspect the fuel that comes out of here is going to be truly amazing to look at. All right. I'm trying a new camera angle for this carburetor disassembly. Y'all can let me know what you think about it. Oh, come on. Whoa, look at that, man. It looks like aged scotch with old Copenhagen in the bottom. That is a gnarly setup. No wonder she wouldn't run. If I had to guess, this has been sitting for a while. I'm trying to put that someplace I can get a good picture of it. In the past couple videos, I did a more in-depth on how to disassemble one of these carbs, so I don't feel I need to do all of that again. I'm going to preheat the ultrasonic cleaner, and once this is all disassembled, I'll bring y'all back in and we'll do a little WTF on this carburetor before we throw her in there. Alrighty, friends, that is the ultrasonic cleaner warmed up, and as you can see, we've got the carbonator broken down here. We'll go over this real quick. We've got our float. As always, we're gonna give her a little shake. Listen. Now, what you're making sure is that there's not a pinhole and it's not full of fuel. Our mounting hardware, this bowl is disgusting. I mean, I don't even know what to call that on there. It looks like it's like this weird red goop. I don't know, man. It's definitely the beginnings of some real serious varnish. I don't even think that's ethanol gas. I think that's how long the thing's been sitting. Here's your intake manifold. I'm going to run out to the store and get some new gasket paper, and I'll make a new gasket for right there. Your carb body. I don't pull the blades out, the throttle blade and the choke blade. Some people do. I don't see it as necessary, especially with the ultrasonic cleaner. What you do want to try to do, make sure you get your main jet taken apart and your idle jet out of the side. You can leave the emulsion tube in there if it's a metal one. If it's the plastic one, you're going to want to pull it out. This is the metal one because it's an old style carb. So without further ado, we're going to get her in the soup pot, and then I got to run over to Wally World. Contact. Alrighty, friends, ignore the incessant, docile tones of the Angry Hornets machine. We got to get some work done here. As soon as that carb's done, we're going to be good to go. But I do believe our gas tank is going to leave something to be desired. Can you guys see down in there? We didn't get all the fuel out, and you can tell that's pretty dark in there. So I think I'm going to pop this tank off. Alrighty, friends, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, but on these plastic tanks, the easiest way to clean it is with more gasoline. So I got this little doohickey right here. It's my magic gas tank stopperizer. Oh, that's full of fuel, and now it's spilled. We're gonna put that right there. That's good enough for government work. We're gonna splash some fuel in here. Oh, just a taste. Put our top on. Honestly, you want to shake it for a good 60 seconds. That way any varnish, any sediment, any hardened deposits has an opportunity to break up. All right, lots of ways we can do this, but I'm just gonna pull this guy off. Let that sit right there like that and drain. All right, here's the last little bit. We've got the outlet sitting right over our pot here. We're just gonna shoot some right in to really make sure that we're getting any sediment, leaves, chunks of crap out of it. Oh, spill it all over the table, why not? There we go. I'm relatively confident that that tank is clean now. All right, last thing we're gonna do to finish this tank is just to blow air into it to evaporate all that fuel, and maybe if there's anything left, it'll blow it out. But I mean, I don't know if you can see down there or not, but she's looking an awful lot better. Let's shine some light on the issue. Yeah, you can see she's looking much better in there, right? So we're just gonna do this. The Angry Hornet machine's done. We got the executive producer in the garage blowing bubbles. What you doing, baby?
I'm blowing my purple bubble.
Yeah? How are they coming? Good bubbles?
Mm-hmm.
It's not too cold for them?
No.
You're not gonna get bubbles all over my blower, are you?
It's on there.
It's on the snowblower? Oh my goodness. Now what are we gonna do?
It's gonna die. It pops itself.
Oh. Should I rebuild this carb now?
Now it's on there.
Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, soup pot's done. It's a beautiful thing. I picked this guy up at Wally World. I think it's gonna be great for the small parts. Hey, what are you doing over there? You kicking my snowblowers? I tell you what, you better get going on the repairing them if he's gonna be in the garage. All right, anyway. This is a reusable coffee filter. I think it's gonna be great for the small parts in the ultrasonic cleaner because the magic juice will schnoozle through whatever. All right, let's get this guy out of here and see how we did. All right, first and foremost, these guys look great. Oh yeah, wow, they look really good. That all looks great. Oh, I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. The ultrasonic cleaner really only loosens the stuff up, so you still need to kind of scrub them to carry the stuff away. Case in point right there. All that varnish is loosened up, but I've got to give it the once over. I mean, and that's gorgeous. We still got a little hunk. Oh wow, that's that is some very stuck on chowder. Huh. That's a new one. Now, the reason I put the float in there is if after a half hour in a hot ultrasonic cleaner, it doesn't have any fluid in it, then it doesn't have a hole in it. This guy looks 10 out of 10. I couldn't find the gasket paper, so we're gonna have to think of something creative, no big deal. This float bowl looks like it is absolutely gonna come around. I love seeing that. And we've got a copper washer in here. This, I believe, is gonna go with our intake valve. My goodness. What am I trying to say? Christmas. Life is hard and hard if you're stupid. Idle circuit. Jeez. We'll carry all this stuff away. Here's what I'm going to do. We've spent enough time on this video. I'm going to put this carb back together. I'll meet you guys once I have it back on the machine. If anything crazy, interesting, or out of the ordinary happens, I'll bring you in. If not, assume that it was the exact same carb reassembly that I've done 30, 40, 80 times on this channel. Alrighty, friends. I sprayed down this gasket with some fluid film because I don't have a seal for it, and this one's in fine shape. You can see it's still adhered over here. The thing is, you don't want to risk a vacuum leak after the carburetor because then you'll run lean and you'll never be able to tune it properly. Let's go, oh, that looks pretty good, right? Let's go throw this thing on the snowblower and see if we can't get her to bark to life and take a big bite of the snow. We will see. Throw enough fuel in there to leak if it wanted to leak. There is a fuel shutoff on this little tank. Ah, that's too much, and I spilled it twice. My goodness. You know, somebody should really do something about these dangerous gas tanks. Just kidding. I hate the new government-approved gas tanks. So to be fair, I hate government-approved anything. Alrighty, friends. No two-stroke down the throat hole. Nothing. If she's gonna start, she's gonna do it on her own merits. Primer, throttle, choke. Why do I always go to pull these things with the wife's truck behind me? I'm gonna elbow this darn Durango again. Ooh, she wanted to. Come on! Come on! Yeah, buddy! Come on! Let's go! I love it! Nope, nope, doesn't really want to idle. Come on. You can hear at idle, it's chugging along, but it's not really missing. It's not searching. It's just nice and got a nice confident idle. You feel comfortable leaving the machine running like this, run inside to get more gas or whatever, you come out, it's just gonna be running. Now, once you have the idle circuit tuned in, now you can do the main jet circuit. The reason you need to have the idle set first is the idle circuit is part of the main circuit. You run both jets. Let's do the main circuit. Friends, I just couldn't be happier about that one. You saw that carburetor tuned right in. You saw the transmission works, the auger works. We're gonna pull her inside now. I'm gonna call it for tonight. I gotta go make the executive producer dinner, but tomorrow we'll pop the belly pan off, make sure that the belts and the transmission are greased and cleaned. I think, yeah, tires need air, and we'll make sure this auger gearbox is alive. Though I think it is, because you know, it was turning. Great success. These little snappers are just friggin' 10 out of 10. I wonder if I can convince Eric to let me keep it instead of selling it. I gotta stop doing that. I have a collection of snowblowers. You know anyone else who has a collection of antique snowblowers? Alright friends, as promised, we're back in the garage today to button up the snapper. We're gonna tilt this bad boy up. And we're gonna pull off this belly pan to make sure that everything's good under there. Alrighty friends, this is gonna give us access to the transmission, as well as the belts, as well as the shifter. And we're just gonna be able to make sure that we're sending this thing down the line in the best possible shape. Wow, that is the first snowblower I've opened up in a while that did not have at least one or two Sammy the Squirrel nests in it. Got these pine needles, but I think that's just from sitting behind Eric's dad's house. Alright, okay, first thing I want to do is inspect this tire. This is your drive tire. And it looks good. You're looking for cracks first and foremost. You're looking for excessive wear, you're looking for residue. All in all, that looks pretty good. The next thing we're gonna do is check out this friction wheel here. Here's the last thing I wanna check out. We determined this is your shifter up here, right? Now, when this moves, what it is acting on is this right here, this chain driven unit is what actually moves your machine, and it slides on this hex shaft. Now, this hex shaft needs to be greased. What happens is after a while the grease gets old, and instead of being viscous, it gets slippery, especially if someone used high temp grease instead of low temp grease. So what we're gonna do today, a little spritz of the good stuff on a cloth here, and that old grease will come right off. Make sure you get all the way down to the edge. Now, obviously, once that's done, we need to re-grease it. And you want to use a low temp grease or a marine grease. Personally, I really like this stuff. It's for tractors, but it's waterproof and it is designed for all types of applications. So for our purposes, we're gonna scoop some of it out right like that. Now while we got this grease out, it's a really great idea to get some down in here and right up here. That's going to make all the difference in the world after this thing spends another couple winters outside. And believe me, it will. Nobody ever takes care of snowblowers. There we go. Now that is going to make all the difference in the world to the next owner. Not only is it going to preclude any of this shifter linkage from rusting, it's going to make it nice and easy to use. And this machine that is already, let's see, does it have a year on it somewhere? How do I read? Snapper 4. It's not a 1961. I'm guessing this is about a 1980 unit. Might be a little older than that, judging by the decals on the motor. But all right, now real close, we're just going to clean off that friction disc right here. You can actually see it's like dusty and it's got corrosion and residue. So what I'm going to do is real gently, I'm just going to wiggle over it with this brass brush. That's going to break up any corrosion. You're not going crazy here. And then same thing, just real quick. Give it the once over, a little spritz of the good stuff. Alrighty friends, now the rest of the grease that's in here I'm leaving because shoot, that's just keeping it from rusting. Get this last little bit of pine needles out of there. There we go. Oh yeah, there you go. Rock solid. Same thing on this side, methinks. There you go. All right, friends, I know I keep saying one last thing, but one last thing. Here is your auger turning gear. What did I just say? Auger turning gear? That doesn't even make any sense. Here's your chute. Chute gear. One gear for the chute. Grease that. You're doing the next guy a favor. Because these get a little bit of snar in them, a little bit of ice, and they start getting real tough. A little bit of grease will go a long way. It's one last little slurp right in the middle. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Again, it's not only helping the functionality of this worm gear, it's rust prevention. These teeth are now coated. All right, friends, this thing you're looking at right here is an auger gear. Think of it as a, not really a differential, but it does split the power coming from your impeller out into your auger. A lot of these use grease, some of them use oil. Either way, give it whatever it needs. You see this thing right here? That's a grease zerk, that's a grease zerk, that's a grease zerk. There's also one there and one there. Grease them. Why does nobody grease these things? This is my custom bend greaserizer. Greaserizer 5000 just for snowblowers. Oh, that's not connected. And oh yeah, that one is frozen shut. That's what happens when you don't grease these things. Sometimes my darn grease gun gets stuck, but sometimes, give it back, would you? Sometimes we can put a little heat on it. Give it a tap. Let's see. Nope. Ah, you see it's coming out right there? It's exactly what I was hoping to find. How about this guy right here? These are important because they got the bearings on the end. I'm not an idiot, it's just really hard to maneuver this thing around the camera. Yep, that one's got a little bit. One little squirtle door. How about over here? Beautiful. So, if you like the video, it's common sense, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment down in the squawk boxes. What do you think? You working on snowblowers? Would you take an old snapper like this? I mean, shoot, even one like this that I just fixed up, they're not expensive. We're not selling it for very much. I was actually just at Lowe's today. They're selling these Craftsman units. They look like they might be MTDs, rebadged MTDs. Crap, just the cheapest of the cheap. 900, 800, 1200 bucks. 200 bucks. Make you a deal. I'll even deliver the damn thing, alright? Leave me a comment down in the squawk box. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm going to go check the weather to see if it's going to snow because I really want to use this thing. I don't have any snow to blow.